Good morning. This is Pastor Tim with Light Christian Center. I just wanted to hop on this morning and just give y'all a little bit of encouragement today. Oftentimes we go into a situation or a time in our life, we're just kind of walking aimlessly. We don't really know where we're going. We just know we don't need to be where we're at. So I think it's times like this that we need to have a perfect battle plan. Okay, a perfect battle plan. So I'm going to give you 3 steps this morning, quick and easy steps to having a perfect battle plan. Number 1, pray. Pray without ceasing. 1 Thessalonians 5:17 says, pray continually. I love that scripture. When you pray in the morning when you get up, when you give God the first fruits of your time, you get up and pray. You pray while you're cooking breakfast. You pray while you're driving to work. If you're not working right now, you pray while you're getting your kids ready for school, homeschool, teaching them how to do math and reading. Pray continually. That doesn't necessarily mean that you have to walk around with this holier than thou attitude where you're always in this constant verbally speaking things out. Pray in your spirit. Pray in your spirit. Just constantly be praying for God's blessings, for God's favor, for God's provision. And not just for yourself. Pray for your family because they're struggling too. Pray for your neighbors as they need help as well. Just always try to have an attitude of prayer. That's the first step to having a perfect battle plan. The second step is fight. Sometimes you just got to fight through some things, guys. Church, you just got to push through some things. You got to keep pressing. And I always turn to Ephesians chapter 6, the whole armor of God. And it says to put on the helmet of salvation, the breastplate of righteousness, the belt of truth. Shod your feet with the readiness of the gospel. Take up the shield of faith and the sword of the Spirit, praying always with all power and supplication. Don't forget that prayer is a weapon. Prayer is part of the armor that God has given us to conduct warfare. So put on the whole armor of God every morning. That's one of the second thing I do on my prayer list in my prayer book when I wake up in the morning is I pray and ask God to forgive me for all the sins that I've committed, because I am a sinner in a lost and dying generation. I'm a chief sinner, and I ask God every day, forgive me for my sins, forgive me for my thoughts, forgive me for my actions. And the second thing I do is I go right in to putting on the whole armor of God. It's important that when you wake up, you get battle ready every single day. And the third thing I want to say, and having a perfect battle plan, is trust. Having done all you can do is trust God, but stand. Stand firm on His word. Ephesians 6:13 says, having done all, stand. When you've done all you can do, when you've said all the prayers you know to say, when you've read every scripture you know to read, when you've confessed every sin that's in your life, when you've called all your friends and plead your case, when you've called all your mom and your dad and you've told everybody everything you know to tell them, just stand. Sometimes the best thing that we can do as Christians is to get out of our own way. Stand firm, stand strong, and keep pushing. Don't look to the left, don't look to the right. That reminds me of the story when the disciples were in the boat and they saw Jesus walking on water and they were scared. And Jesus said, don't be afraid, it's me. It's Jesus. And Peter said, Lord, if it's you, call me out into the water. So Jesus said, come on then. So Peter climbed out of the boat and he's walking on water. Only the second guy in all known history that ever walked on water, Jesus being the first. And as long as his focus was on Jesus Christ, he was doing great. But when he took his eyes off of Jesus and started looking at all the waves that were getting bigger, started looking at all the wind that was blowing hard, he began to sink because he took his focus from Jesus and put it on the storm. So I'm telling you this morning, church, keep your focus on Christ. Keep your focus on Christ. Pray without ceasing. Fight as hard as you can. Put on the whole armor of God. Trust and stand and keep your focus on Christ. Hey guys, have a blessed day. I hope this encouraged you. Shoot me a text or hit me up on Facebook. And if you have any questions or prayer requests, send them my way. I love you all, and I'll see you soon.